Hey guys, Harley here with Blastoff Comics for another episode of The Landing Pad. So today we're talking about Supergirl, one of our favorite teen superheroes. Now, Supergirl first appeared, technically in Action Comics 252. The first time they tested out the idea was actually in Superman 123, where Superman's best friend, Jimmy Olsen, finds an Indian totem and then wishes for Supergirl, basically. He wishes for a female counterpart to Superman that has all the same powers as him so that he doesn't have to worry about hurting her. In the same issue, she dies. So, fun stuff, but that's kind of where they tested out the idea for Supergirl. What they were trying to do for Supergirl is actually test out a young audience. They're trying to find not just young men, but get some young women there to actually start reading comics. And since they really didn't have any strong female characters or superheroes, they tried out Supergirl. And when she meets Superman in her initial issue in Action Comics 252, basically she crashes to Earth in her, Kryptonian spaceship, and Superman's like, oh man, only I could survive this crash. How could someone survive this? Who's in there? And then out pops Supergirl going, hey, what's up? Hi, I'm cute and blonde and we're related, you're my cousin. And then she asks Superman if she can live with him. And he says, no. Oh, it's okay, Superman. Your cousin from your destroyed home planet is here and needs your help. And you're like, no. And then does things like banishing her from Earth for a year because of playing with his dog. He's there going, oh, well, you may give away my secret identity if you live with me. Doesn't she have one now too? You both have secret identities, both of you. So instead he goes, oh, my secret identity is too important. I know we're related from the home planet. Only person I know from my planet who's alive, but orphanage for you. So she lives a lot of her teen years in an orphanage and then has this whole struggle of trying to find parents. She has now to find parents to adopt her so that she could be a normal teenager. Sometimes I think Superman was a little illogical in the 50s. Now, Supergirl is not your typical teen, right? She has all the same superpowers as the Man of Steel, but it's surprising how many typical teenage stuff she actually goes through in the comics. And I think a lot of times they did that because they were trying to bring in that teenage female audience and have them understand. They wanted them to be able to connect to her, so she goes through a lot of weird teenage stuff. Some typical stuff, some not really typical because she is Supergirl. She does go through, the whole love thing. I think my favorite two of her love relationships, when she goes to Atlantis and she meets this Atlantean boy. Oh, it's all beautiful and dreamy and they have their first kiss. And then she realizes that in his world, they basically communicate telepathically. So everybody in that vicinity can hear what she's thinking about him. Supergirl's there being like, ooh, I wonder what he looks like under that Atlantean shirt. Talk about awkward moments as a teenage girl. Another great one, she dates a horse. He's sometimes a horse, sometimes a man. I feel like every girl could say that they've probably dated a horse or two, but not to quite the extent of Supergirl. Hey, let me hop on your back and you can take me places when you're a horse, and then when you're not a horse, let's make out. So it's great because you do have that connection, especially as a girl. You remember being a teenage girl. It's still very vivid in your mind, even 10 years later. Another thing that's great about Supergirl is the fact that we actually got to watch her grow up. I mean, she comes there as Supergirl, but she doesn't really understand how to always use her powers. Sometimes she goes a little too far, sometimes not enough. So she's learning not only how to be a teenage girl on Earth, a planet that she's not from, but how to be a teenage girl who's also a superhero. But we do get to see her go through all of that. I mean, besides love, she finally does find parents that adopt her, has more of the typical teenage life, and eventually gets to be a full-fledged superhero and gets her own wing of the Fortress of Solitude and gets to grow up. Thanks for watching again this episode of Landing Pad. I'm Harley, here with BlastoffComics.com. Remember, you can come visit us here in our North Hollywood location. Get all our cool stuff, get some Supergirl going. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.